Welcome to our Veterans Day program. We are grateful you have taken the time today to join us in recognizing the heroism and dedication of our men and women in uniform. Our opening words today are taken from the Veterans Day Presidential Proclamation of 2022. Quote, today we honor generations of patriots who have earned the title of American Veteran, a badge of courage that unites the finest group of former service members the world has ever known. With their selfless sacrifice, our armed forces have forged and defended the very idea of America, a promise of freedom and equality, democracy and justice, possibility and hope. We owe them an incredible debt that can never be fully repaid. In every generation, America's veterans have been willing to give all for that which we hold sacred, freedom, justice, and democracy. They have served selflessly, sacrificed greatly, and shouldered the burden of freedom quietly, asking no glory for themselves. Today, let us honor them by living up to their example, putting service before self, caring for our neighbors, and working passionately to build a more perfect union worthy of all those who protect our lives and liberty. you or a family member is a veteran, as the high school band performs the United States Armed Forces salute, we encourage you to stand during the branch's theme song. Our guest speaker today is Chaplain Witt, a familiar face to many of us. Chaplain Witt has been deployed to Jordan since January and is speaking to us via recorded video. So please draw your attention to the screen on either wall or the stage for his message today.
مرحبا، كيف حالك؟ أنا جدا ممتاز مدهش. Well, hello everyone, how are you? Me? I'm very good. Just serving Arabic. مرحبا كيف حالك؟ أنا جيد جدا ممتاز مدهش. Well, hello everyone. How are you? Me? I'm very good. You just heard in Arabic that very good is جيد جدا. Excellent is ممتاز. And amazing or wonderful is mudhashi. Well, greetings from the Middle East, everyone. My name is Chaplain Nathan Witt, more affectionately known as Mrs. Witt's husband, and I'm serving with the 35th Infantry Division out of Leavenworth, Kansas. Right now we're the premier National Guard division in the Middle East. So I want to thank you. If you are a vet today, I want to thank you in every sense of the word, because every part of our culture, our nation, and our world is an absolute better place because you have served. Today I want to give you 4 short points. I'll be the good teacher and give you the answers right up front. First one is work together. Number 2, be kind. Number 3, be respectful. And number 4, work to understand. So work together, be kind, be respectful, and work to understand. So number 1, work together. We're in a Muslim country here. And so what that means here is that the church and the state are one, or the church and the nation are one. And because it's a Muslim country, it means the premier religion of the nation or of the state is Islam. So they're known as Muslims. But Muslims and Christians, there are Christians here, the Muslims and the Christians do work together a lot because life is very, very hard. It's very difficult for absolutely everybody. There's extreme poverty in almost every direction. The unemployment rate sits at about 23%. They actually hold riots and protests out in the street because unemployment is so high. There is seemingly very, very few good jobs to be had in most every direction. And so regularly you'll see 6 and 8-year-olds, sometimes younger, sitting by the roadside just selling vegetables of any kind. You'll see 6 and 8-year-olds herding goats and sheep out in the desert, and still very much an agrarian society. And so it is really anything that the family can scrape together to survive. So to give you an example here, this is what they call non-bread. This country is all about bread, which is, that's really bad for me because I love bread. Anyway, bread is really the big deal here, and so you'll see this is called non-bread, which means it's non-yeasted, so it's non-bread. They have bread in every shape and form here, and it is heavily, heavily subsidized, which just means it is made affordable for every family to get. And so, for instance, 80 cents will buy enough bread for a family of 4 for an entire week. And why? Why is that? Why do they subsidize bread? Because here, very contrary to the United States, is in the West, as we say in the United States, we tend to eat for nutrition. In the East, which is where we are, they eat for sustenance, which just means they eat to stay alive. And if you look at the culture here, everybody is very, very thin because there isn't much to eat, and groceries are going up in price just like they are around the rest of the world. But all that to say, lesson number 1 is work together. We can all work together for the good of everyone. If they can do it here, we can do it as well, because life is difficult for everyone, no matter which way you shake it, and we can all work together to make it better for everyone. Number 2, be kind. We're in a country of refugees. 60% of the people here are refugees. Now, those are not illegal immigrants. Those are different categories, but particularly here, refugees is a very different word. It just simply means that people are fleeing other countries around them in fear of their life. They've had family members killed. They're just caught up in all kinds of violence, and they have fled their country to come here. And so they're not really displaced by choice. They're displaced because they want to stay alive. And so 60% of the people here are refugees. And so these refugees, honestly, are ordinary folks. They're moms, dads, kids, just trying to do the best that they can. And so, for instance, this is what one of the currencies here looks like. This amounts to, in our currency that amounts to about $1.50. This is about $1.50 for us. If you are a refugee here, you get 3 of these a day to live on. So you get about $4.50 each day to buy what you need. That's everything. Food, clothes, doesn't matter what it is. You live on about $4.50 a day. There's a famous person of the last generation. I won't quote his name because it makes me feel old, and I don't really want to feel old. But the last very famous person of the last generation said this: there are 3 keys to success. Be kind, and be kind. 3 keys to success. Number 1, be kind. Number 2, be kind. Number 3, be kind. So there are always opportunities around us to be kind. There are many people just trying to do the best they can with what they have, and kindness is always a beautiful gift. Number 1, work together. Number 2, be kind. Number 3, be respectful. Well, we are guests in this country. Now, we may not agree with how they do things in this country, but we can still be respectful because it is their culture. It is not ours. And so sometimes when you travel, when you go to a friend's house, when you go to another state, or if you go to another country, take on a guest mentality. So you may not agree with how they do things, but it's their culture. It's not your culture. And we have learned, gratefully, thankfully, from some locals that Americans here have been the best guests in their culture. We also found out who the worst guests were, but I won't name those. I was just grateful that Americans have been the best guests so far in this country. So how do you be a good guest? Well, enjoy things. Try new things that they do. Like try the food. I love their food here. Their food is absolutely incredible. I'm going to try and learn how to make some of it when we come home. But try the food. It's their food. Try it. One thing that we've done is you can either dress normal like an American, or you can try things that they wear. So for instance, here, let me show you 3 pics. Here's one of me. And here's 2 of me. I'm on the left in the tan. Those are called a thobe, Thobe. And then here's another one of me. And I may look kind of funny, but it's very cultural here. And so if I go out as kind of dressed like an American, they don't know that we're American. They kind of have a pretty good guess because we all kind of look the same. But they just kind of write it off. However, if I go out dressed like that, they love it. They welcome. I mean, they're just all smiles and want to talk, and they just think it's the greatest thing because I'm trying to be respectful and learn about their culture. So whether you go to someone's house, go to someone's town, go to someone else's country, learn how to be a good guest and be respectful. It's their culture, not yours. And so number 4, work to understand. Culture is very, very different here. And people's thinking is shaped by the culture in which they live. So as an outsider, sometimes we can look in and go, well, that's kind of dumb. Why do you think like that? Well, it's not necessarily dumb. It's shaped by their culture. And so one of the things that we have to try and do is understand the culture in order to understand their thinking, because those two things work together. And that takes work to try and understand the culture. So to give you for instance, one of the things about their culture here is husbands can have 4 wives. I know. Hope you're all sitting down for that one. Husband can have 4 wives, and it has taken us a fair amount of work to understand how does that work and what's involved in it. Now, that's fairly uncommon, but it happens, and it can. And so it's just very different. But another one is Arabic language. So we've been trying to learn some Arabic. And so that takes effort. But language shapes thinking. And And so if you travel, if you get the chance to travel to another country, learn the language, try and learn basic phrases and basic language, parts of the language, because you'll understand how language shapes their thinking. English shapes American thinking, and it shapes the rest of the world's thinking, but Arabic shapes thinking, and all kinds of different languages shape the way they think because of how they translate words and thoughts. Another instance of the culture here that we have to understand is, for instance, in America, we shake hands with everybody. I'll come up, shake your hand. How are you? We don't bat an eye about young, old, male, female, nothing. It doesn't matter. We all shake hands, right? Well, you don't do that here, especially with the Muslim women. Never, ever shake hands with a Muslim woman. And why is that? Well, you have a way of greeting them that's culturally appropriate, but in a Muslim way of thinking, the woman is only ever touched by her husband. And so the only touch she will ever know is the touch of her husband. So you never ever shake hands. Now, we have some Muslim women here who are a little more lenient, and they'll shake hands because they know we're American and we do that, and they've kind of adapted a little bit. But the ramifications of, in a very conservative Muslim culture, is if you force yourself to shake hands with a Muslim woman, her father can come back and accuse you of assault, and you don't want that to happen. And so that's cultural things that we have to try and understand. But again, so those are just 3 cultural examples, but it takes work to try and understand the culture, and it takes work to understand each other. And so we can always, even our homes are different cultures, and our schools are different cultures. And so we can always work to understand each other better, and we'll all be better off for it. Well, I know Mr. Albers is looking at the clock, and so here's your 4 points. Number 1, work together. Number 2, be kind. Number 3, be respectful. And number 4, work to understand. So in Arabic, goodbye is masalama, and I will see you all soon. Have a great day.
morning. Before we jump into the honor roll productions, I just want to take a few minutes here to thank people that are so instrumental in making today possible. I just want to recognize Ms. Jason Cannon. I don't know about you guys, but when you were 17, 18 years old, I bet it would take quite a bit to get you out in front and talk in front of a group of people. So let's give her a little round of applause. Also, just want to thank Mr. Landry and the band for what they've done and their tremendous work, and they sound great. So let's recognize them. Also, too, Mrs. Derry and Mr. Shepard, and the students that are in their classes for putting together the media type pieces today, the video, the slideshow, and obviously the live streams and that. So just want to thank them as well. And last but not least, I just want to give a special shout out to Mrs. Witt. She's so instrumental in putting today together. Not only is she an employee here that helps work and get everybody guided in the right direction, she's also obviously a military spouse. I think that's something that doesn't get looked at enough. We get to see every day just what she goes through and why her husband's been deployed. So I just want to thank Mrs. Witt for not only everything she does for us every day, but also the sacrifice that she's put forth as a spouse of the military. Our military service members are the backbone of our democracy and our way of life. Without the service and sacrifice of so many, we would not be able to enjoy the freedoms that we are blessed with to have and the privilege to live in the greatest country on earth. Students, as a school district and as a community, we want to challenge you to honor our past and current servicemen and women by thanking them for their service and showing them appreciation for what they and so many others have done in the protections of our rights and our freedoms. It's now my privilege to introduce our local veterans that will be honoring this year our Veterans Day program. First up, Mr. Jerry Carvall. Jerry served at the National Guard 195th Army Division. He achieved a rank at E4. His service time was from 1988 to 1996. He was a tank crewman. He served his basic training in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then he went on to tank training in Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and Fort Carson, Colorado. Jerry enjoyed his time in the military. He enjoyed the discipline, camaraderie, and physical challenges that were required of being in the National Guard. He has fond memories of his training camps, learning how to operate the M1 Abraham tank, and all aspects of driving, loading, and live firing the tank's main gun. He loved being part of a bigger cause and doing something special for our country. He regrets not making a career out of it and still remembers all the marching cadences. Please help me recognize again Mr. Jerry Carvall. Next up is Mr. Mike Harris. Mike served in the Nebraska Army National Guard. His basic training was in Fort Cleveland, Alabama, and Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Mike was an E5 unit supply sergeant. He served 10 years from 1989 to 1999. His fondest memory of being in the National Guard was being part of the national championship team for air pistol. Please again, help me recognize Mr. Mike Harris. Our third nominee could not be with us today, because as many of us can attest to, when cows are out, that's what you gotta go do. So Tim Peterson is our third recognized person today. Tim trained in the Navy's Lieutenant Commander Officer Training School in Newport, Rhode Island, and was a Naval Supply, and went to the Naval Supply School in Athens, Georgia. He was part of the USS Esterson FFG Guided Missile Fast Brigade, Naval Air Force, Pacific Fleet, San Diego. Say that out. Tim served for 6 years of active duty and 9 years of reserve service. His favorite memory was as a supply officer was on board the USS Esterson, taking part in many Soviet submarine hunting missions in the Caribbean Islands. Please help me recognize Mr. Tim. Our final honoree today is Mr. Jerry Shaker. Mr. Shaker served in the U.S. Army from 1968 to 1970. Jerry served in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Fort Gordon, Georgia, Fort Bliss, Texas, and Vietnam. He learned discipline and received guidance from many great people, and he still misses the camaraderie of the service. Again, let's all recognize Mr. Jerry Shaker. All right, let's give one more round of applause for that.
As the band prepares to present our next song, please draw your attention to the large screens. As they play America the Beautiful and also to the singing of our final local selection, Standing Up for Freedom, you will see photos of local veterans. Our gratitude goes out to all those who sacrificed and continue to sacrifice for our nation by serving in our military. stand as our colors are retired. Thank you for your attendance today, and thank you, veterans. You are dismissed.